Hey, good morning, everybody. It is about 6:33 on this Thursday. Yeah, it's early for me, but usually I have to get up at this time anyway to get ready for work. But here's the point. I don't have to work today, but Um, I did basically sleep yesterday. Um, I did sleep yesterday when I got home from work. I mean, basically, what I've been doing the past 2 days is going out when I before I go to work, even after I've had a little bit of rest. I will basically because we got a uh, uh, Kurgan machine, the those coffee machines allow you to have like this little bit of coffee, place it in there, and there you go. Well, I ended up buying one of the boxes that Starbucks has been distributing lately, which gives you 2 times the caffeine than the regular coffee. So what I did yesterday is I placed not one, not two, not one, but two, because I have a Starbucks cup that requires you to use the medium and small settings for of coffee, or the medium cup, small cup settings of coffee to fill it up, or at least get it to a decent amount to where it's not overflowing. You get coffee in there, stuff like that. And sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I just put the large portion in there, and that's about it. Um, but yeah, that's what I've been doing, and quite honestly, it's worked. I mean, the other day, my excuse me, got a coffee. I don't know where I got it. Must have got it at my job, thanks to a customer, because sometimes the customers will come in and either they purposely or they don't purposely start coughing right in front of you, and it seems to get on. You seem to be the one that catches it, and sometimes it's also probably the kids too that do that. I mean, I mean, again, I can understand that sometimes kids probably don't know any better. Parents will tell them cover your mouth, but then again, they won't. But yeah, what was it? Oh yeah, but basically, like the other day, I put two of them together, and I was just like, I guess according to s- m- my head CMS, my head customer service manager, or the zone, ZMS, the zone managing supervisor. She said I was kind of like a little wacky, a little bouncing off the wall. But it's like I look at it this way: it's either hey, you have me like this, or I'm gonna crash. And she was right about one thing; it did catch up to me later, but not enough to where it kept me going. It kept me going the way I am. So, um, anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing, and I do want to say one thing, and I'm going to address this straight to them in a sense. I want to address something straight to them, and as you know, like a lot of you, I'm a fan of the Deluxe Man. And there are times when I have the money, I contribute to his super chat. When he does a live stream, I donate to his super chat. And one thing a lot of people have been constantly complaining about, or not complaining, but telling him about, is the fact that his super chat seems not a super chat, but his stream seems to be lagging. And my guess, on that is, he has a lot of stuff going on. He has this like nice design someone puts together for him, little border design that represents what he's talking about, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, Lucha Underground, 205, NXT, New Japan, um, or one of the pay-per-views, or one of the pay-per-views or special events. And one of the things people will tell him is the stream seems to be lagging. And I think I know why it's lagging. I think I know why it's lagging. And this is just my opinion on it, Alex. If you watch this later, I think I know why it's lagging. You see, what's going on is you're doing so much. You have a live chat going on, and when you have a super chat come on, you have that kind of bounce right in. And if you're using Wi-Fi, that doesn't help either because someone in the other room or in the house or the apartment you share might be using Wi-Fi as well, so that kind of slows it up a little bit. So when you slow it up, so when it gets slowed up, it kind of lags, especially when you're, like I said, you're doing a live stream and you're talking about something and people want to donate. The donations, what happens is it compresses with that live chat, with that live stream, because basically it's so much going on. It's like it's trying to, it's basically the live feed's trying to focus on what you're doing, but now it's also got to incorporate the donations coming in. But on top of that, it's also got you know it's also got how do I put this? It also it's also got to focus on the stream because you're constantly popping up screens and all that. So to me, I think in all honest opinion here, man, not trying to be offensive, honest opinion, I think it's just a combination of stuff. So it might be if you're doing directly from Wi-Fi, depending on the strength of your Wi-Fi, and maybe even who your provider is, that might play an issue. But then again, and also might play an issue in the fact that um, again, you're trying so much. You're doing so much. You're doing super chats. You have this border and everything up. So it might be a combination of things. And I do pray and hope you figure it out real soon because you know, I don't think you want to have. I don't think you or anybody else wants to have to deal with the fact that you know that your stream is lagging. I'm not saying my live streams are not the best. Okay, I'm not saying mine aren't. Mine are, they can lag and all that. I mean, heck, when I do a live stream via my phone, it lags at times too. Sometimes it comes to an abrupt, it sometimes comes to an abrupt, interruption, and there's not really much I can, there's not really much I can do about that. You know, but I just deal with it and see what happens. But like I said, I think it just might be a combination of things. So, well, my opinion, my suggestion is, if you want to do the live stream, go ahead and do the live stream. But my suggestion would be just do the live stream, do the super chat like you used to, and then later on, maybe if you want to, go back and edit in perhaps um, go back and edit in perhaps the border, so that way you have a decent live stream, and then you can have that border added in as well. But again, that's just a suggestion. Not saying you should do that. Again, like I said, this is a suggestion. I'm not saying you should, you should do that or anything. Um, Again, it's just a suggestion, but that's my opinion. I think it's because you got so much going on, that might be the cause of it. Not saying it is, not saying it's not, but I'm just thinking, I'm just thinking it might be. You know, just thinking it might be. Just an opinion, just an opinion. So I would try to look into that maybe because basically it seems to me that what's going on is every time, like I said, a super chat comes on, it's like it lag. That's one part of the lag because you got this little gift of the new day or this gift of of of, of Daniel Bryan or whatever it is, and you got the music going along with it as well as um, the speech te as long as the speech text going on. So that might be playing a few factors. So it just suggest so in my opinion, you don't have to do it, but my opinion is maybe try to figure some hopefully my opinion is that might be a contributing factor is what I'm trying to say. So my suggestion again, you don't have to take it if you don't want to. My suggestion is probably use less, and then maybe later down the line, if you feel like it, you can edit in a few things here and there, so you can have it the way you want to present it. So, but again, that's just a suggestion. I'm not saying you have to do it. But from what I've noticed, from what I've noticed, that that might be the case. Might be the case. Not saying it is. Not saying it's not. But I'm saying it might be. It's not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not. But I'm saying it might be because you never know. You never know exactly what it could be. You don't know exactly what it is. It could be. It could be a lot of factors thrown in there. And it also depends on your computer too. Your computer. If you have some stuff on your computer may not be able to handle all that. You know, I'm not saying that it won't. I'm not saying that it's not capable of handling it. I'm just saying there's a possibility that it may not be able to handle it. And again, maybe you need to work around that. Maybe you need to probably look into laying away, getting another computer down the line to where you could do the streams and all that without a problem. Because sometimes, like I said, sometimes the computer, if you have a lot on your computer, which you probably don't, I'm trying to say, that could be a reasoning too. You never know. But just again, these are just things that I'm noticing, and again, you don't have to do any of the things I suggested or anything, but I would look into it maybe even. I mean, I think on top of it, if anything, just see what's going on with your provider. And maybe if you have a computer that has an external port on it, maybe you should get one of those. Maybe you should get like one of those external cables, internet cables, if you will. If it's got an internet port in it, what I'm saying, Deluxe Man, is if the thing has an internet port if your computer has an internet port, get one of the internet cables connected to your modem, and there you go. You might be able to have, and you might be able to get a decent stream there because it seems to me that when you have it directly connected to the modem, it works better. When you don't, it's all right, depending on where you're at, the location, and if nobody else is using the Wi-Fi. So again, just my suggestion. It's just going off from what I've noticed. Again, you do what you want to do to fix it. Do what you got to do to fix it. But I'm just suggesting, pointing out some things that I've noticed, and hopefully, what I've mentioned could help you out. So that's all I'm saying, Alex, because I know you want to give the best content um, to your viewers, to the people that support you. Um, but again, like I said, it's just little things I'm noticing here and there. Like I said, it's just little things I'm noticing here and there. So hopefully hopefully you'll be able to fix it, and um, like I said, hopefully, like I said, you'll be able to fix it, and you'll be able to get things going from there. Like I say, hopefully you'll be able to fix it and get things done from there. Because I think you need to. I think honestly, you shouldn't have to deal with this kind of stuff or anything. So again, hopefully you get it fixed and taken care of. Okay, at 10 to 6 something here. But yeah, just checking something. Sorry for the stoppage there, but yeah, it's just something I'm just I'm just suggesting. So bit of a suggestion. That's all. Um, but anyway, yeah. Again, welcome. But again, this is a bit of suggestion. So hopefully, you'll have something to look into. Maybe kind of look at, be like, okay, maybe because I think the less you do with something like this, especially depending on your provider, the better you might, uh, the better result you might get. But again, it's just my suggestion. Just a little bit of suggestion there, Alex. You don't have to take it if you want to, but hopefully you. But like I said, hopefully you'll get things worked out. Sorry if I rambled there, repeated myself. I do apologize. But yeah, first of all, welcome to this edition of topics on my mind for today, the 21st of June, 2018 is the Thursday. I am off today, but like I said, I got up a little like several hours ago because as soon as I got home today, yes, as soon as I got home yesterday, I just plopped. I just went out. I was done. So, I was just out and anything. And I was just tired. And again, it's like I said, I think it's due to the fact that, even though they work and they're helping me, it's when I haven't been getting that much sleep, but thankfully, like I said, I got that. But like I said, thankfully, I got the what is it? I bought the Starbucks coffee that's 2 times the caffeine. That kind of helped me out. But what it does to me in the end is it has me crash as well. But maybe that works in the end because it helps me get through the day. I do nap during my lunch or my breaks if I have to, and that helps. But hopefully, that won't happen again. Hopefully, it won't happen again. But yeah, anyway, welcome guys to this live topics on my mind for today. And there are several topics to talk about, some wrestling ones, and of course, this being the first day of summer, the summer solstice, I guess, as they call it, summer solstice. Excuse me. Yeah, but just a few things to talk about, if not more. First of all, it's kind of been a somber week in sports entertainment in the world, if you will. Um, because one of the somber, tragic things that have happened over this past week is we've lost two well-renowned icons, not just in sports entertainment, but into entertainment in general and media as well. Um, One of the first one I want to talk about, I just found out today. Just found out about. I just found out today. I just found out about today, and that was if I can find it again. Okay, if I can find it again. Let's see. Trying to find some. Hold on. And it looks like Disney has solidified the purchase of 21st Century Fox. It signed an amendment deal, an amendment, in a they. It's basically according to this. Disney has countered Comcast's offer for 20th Century Fox in an amended deal with 71.4 billion. Yeah, it kind of tells you Disney wants to do whatever they can to give us what we want as fans, as far as Marvel is concerned. And there's a new TMNT movie in the works as well. New Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in the works. And Starbucks is closing 150 stores. I don't think they'll close the one here, but we'll have to wait and see. And that being in Paris, and I don't think they will. Excuse me. Let me get some here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, like I said, been a very somber week, and a lot of news outlets have been reporting this all over. Um, and that is Koko, the sign language gorilla. I found out again about this morning. Has passed away at the age of 46. That that is huge. According to KTVU, according to KTVU, it says Koko the gorilla who mastered sign language has died. This is a KTVU Fox. They say the Gorilla Foundation says the 46-year-old Western lowland gorilla died in its sleep at the foundation's preserve in California's Santa Cruz Mountains on Tuesday. It says Koko was born at the San Francisco Zoo, and Dr. Francine Patterson began teaching the gorilla sign language that became part of a Stanford University project in 1974. It says the foundation says Koko's capacity for language and empathy opened the minds and hearts of millions. Koko appeared in many documentaries and twice in National Geographic. The gorilla's 1978 cover featured a photo that the animal had taken of itself in a mirror. The foundation says it will honor Koko's legacy with a sign language application featuring Koko for the benefit of gorillas and children, as well as other projects. And that is from KTVU. And and I remember hearing a lot about Koko. I think they even had Koko appear in shows and all that. So it says, let's see. Yeah, CBS News says the same thing. It also says in 2016, Koko and Flea Bassinet of the Red Hot Chili Peppers teamed up in an Instagram video. See, ABC7 has to say just about the same thing. Has a few more things though. Let's see. It says the Gorilla Foundation. Let's see what it says. Okay, so it's about the same thing. Says Koko says she was an icon for interspecies communication and empathy. See, says the Gorilla Foundation says that Koko shared a special bond with Robin Williams. The two met for a video shoot in 2001. Says Coco's handler said at the time she hadn't smiled in 6 months since her lifelong partner passed away. Williams made her smile. The two joked and wrestled, even got into a tickling fight. The foundation said Koko expressed sadness after her handlers explained Williams had died in 2014. So yeah, I remember growing up, learning about Coco in school, learning about what she had done, looking at the documentaries and stuff. Let's see what ABC 10 has to say. But yeah, I remember just growing up knowing about Coco. Me and my sisters grew up on her. Let's see. Yeah, they say about basically the same stuff here. But yeah, it is kind of sad to find out that she passed away at 46. I don't know exactly how old that is. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't really say, but I'd have to say 46 years old is pretty old for a gorilla at that time. Uh, it might, I'm guessing it's probably old for that time. 1971. Yeah. It said according to this, she passed away. According to Wikipedia, she passed away on the 19th. Yeah. So 1971, she was going to be, according to this, going to be 47. So yeah, but it's kind of sad because, like I said, I remember learning about her back when I was a kid in school, along with my sisters and my cousins. We all knew about her, and just to hear this, it's kind of sad knowing that, as the old saying goes, a piece of your childhood is gone, and iconically, a piece of pop culture is gone. But there's an old saying that excuse me. There's an old saying that says God gives a well, not an old saying, but there's always a saying out there that says God gives us angels in disguise. And I think when you look at Koko being the gorilla that she was, being able to learn sign language and be very kind and gentle, from what I understand, it it it's it's a rare occasion to see that. And now God has, as they said, brought her home and has taken her home, and now she's teaching sign language to the gorillas up there in heaven, if you will. But yeah, you could definitely in a way sense that she was kind of like an angel in disguise, if you will. So, like I said, is it sad that she passed on? Yes, because like I said, it's part of pop culture that you know we all grew up with. I grew up on. My sisters grew up on. My parents witnessed even before they were married. Knew about. So, like I said, is it sad? Yes, it is sad. There's no doubt about that. So, like I said, there's no doubt about that. Will Here's the question: will there ever be another like her? There's always that possibility. I think with Coco, it's more along the lines that she inspired. You know, her and Dr. Francine Patterson inspired the possibility that you could communicate with animals if you teach them, if you have the patience to teach them sign language, to teach them communication, telling them to be able to tell you or communicate to you, how they feel. I I don't I don't think you'd ask for anything else. I don't really think you can ask for anything else. Excuse me. Again, I don't think you can ask for anything else. But yeah, she's in heaven now and she's having fun, sign languaging there. So rest in peace, Coco. You really gave us memories and you will be truly missed. But your legacy, as it's been reported, will live on. And maybe someday we might get another Coco down the line that has had the impact that you had. So carry on, Coco. Godspeed. Now, speaking of passings, another one happened as well. And if you're a wrestling fan, if not a sports entertainment fan in general, or if you're a fan of Boy Meets World, then this is a passing that was really surprising. It caught a lot of people off guard. Leon White, excuse me, Leon White, otherwise known to fans as Big Van Vader, or Vader in WWE, has passed away at the age of 63 due to heart congestion and pneumonia. His family sent out a tweet through his Twitter. And I might do a separate video later on. I don't really know. But you want to talk about the impact that a big man had on this business? This guy had it. This guy was unlike anybody else you've ever seen. With all due respect to Andre the Giant, God rest his soul. Vader was one of those talents that you don't come across every day. I mean, there's a lot of huge men nowadays that are doing things that normally you don't think they should do, but they're doing it. And all because Vader might have been, if not was, an inspiration on their careers, showing that, showing that, hey, you could be a big man, you could weigh 450 pounds, but still be able to do things no one else thought you can do. I mean, if you would have said to somebody that was first watching that was watching Vader in the ring for the first time, that he had signaled that he was gonna go to the top rope and do a moonsault, no one would have believed you. But yet, he did it. He did things, and that was probably one of the biggest things that got people to notice was, whoa, this guy at 450 pounds just did a moonsault off the top rope with ease? What the heck? I mean, this guy was probably the most legit overall wrestler, big man wrestler in the business. I mean, he wasn't given the phrase or nicknamed the best big man to grace the squared circle ever for nothing. He wasn't. I mean, this guy dominated no matter where he went. Whether he was wearing a full-on mask almost that just covered most of his face except for his chin and mouth and nose, or to what he has an iconic look, with his, kind of his regular headgear. This guy made an impact no matter where he went. I mean, some people might say, well, for some people, when they read up about Vader, they probably think, oh, they just say all this stuff, saying he was champion, all this at the same time. No. You see, you could think that companies like WCW, Mexico, Japan, wherever, would make up the fact that he had won, if not was currently champion in multiple parts of the world. You could probably think that's a lie, but it wasn't. It was legit. This guy Vader, when he worked for WCW, the one thing WCW allowed at the time, and still did to its dying day, was allow its wrestlers to go compete elsewhere if they had the time, if they wanted to still, keep in shape. Vader, in a sense, was one of those wrestlers that was allowed to do that. And he went and he competed and won championships in Europe, Mexico, Japan, of course, most notably, Australia, you name it, he went there. He has a resume of championships that's unlike anything I've ever seen. He was a CWA champion, I think, in Europe. I think he was. Hold on. Excuse me. Yeah, here's his list of championships. He won. And that was my dog. She's just waking up a little bit. She's okay. But he won. Get this. This is his list of accomplishments as far as championships go. He was a 3-time Triple Crown winner, 3-time Triple Crown heavyweight champion winner in All Japan Pro Wrestling. 1-time World Tag Team Champion with Steve Williams, Dr. Steve Williams, I believe, in All Japan Pro Wrestling. 1999 Carnival Champion in All Japan Pro Wrestling. 1999. Catch Wrestling Association out of Europe, or Austria and Germany. 1-time CWA Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion and 3-time CWA World Heavyweight Champion. Impact Zone Wrestling, 1-time IZW Heavyweight Champion. New Japan Pro Wrestling, 3 times IWGP Heavyweight Champion, 1-time IWGP Tag Team Champion, 1-time Super Great Tag League winner with Tatsumi Fujinami, 1-time IWGP title tournament winner, 1989. Wrestler of the Year in 93. Ranked number 2 in the top 500 singles wrestlers by PWI 500 in 93. Ranked number 27 in 2003. Ranked number 36 in 2003 of top tag teams along with Bad Man Bigelow, which he won the IWGP Tag Team titles with. One-time GHC Tag Team Champion with Too Cold Scorpio. 1998 Best Tag Team Award with Stan Hansen. One-time UWA Universal Wrestling Association World Heavyweight Champion. Union of Wrestling Forces International. One-time Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion there. And one-time Best in the World Tournament winner. WCW. Best. WCW. One-time United States Heavyweight Champion. 3-time World Heavyweight Champion. 1-time Battle Bowl winner. WWF. WWE, that is. Slammy Award winner for Crime of the Century in 96. Wrestling Observer Newsletter. 5-star match with Kenji Moto, Great Muta, at New Japan's G1 Climax Day 3, August 9th. Best Heel, 93. Best Wrestling Maneuver, Moonsault, 93. Best Improved Wrestler, Most Improved Wrestler, 1999. Wrestler of the Year, 1993. Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame Class, 1996. Extreme Wrestling Alliance, one-time XWA Heavyweight Champion. If that is not a resume of a legit badass, I don't know what is. Yeah. But yeah, you talk about a big man. You talk about a big man that can do it all. I don't think you can say any more. I mean, this guy went up in the ring against a who's who in the wrestling sports entertainment business. Stan Hansen, Ric Flair, Great Muta, Hulk Hogan, Sting, Lex Luger. You know, the list could go on. Hacksaw Duggan. I think maybe at one time he may have faced the Giant. I'm not really sure when he was Big Show. I can't remember. You know, Jake Roberts. Rick Rude. I mean, it's just, again, it's just a who's who of superstar talent. I mean, even according to this, he faced Dan Maffa and Samoa Joe in Jersey All Pro Wrestling with Mike Awesome as his partner in 2005, between 2005 and 2007. I mean, this guy did it all. This guy did it all. And, again, this guy did it all. And the fact that WWE, despite poor booking of Vader, because obviously when they got Vader, that was a big coup. But here was the deal. You get a guy like this, and even at the time when you're still kind of not wanting to acknowledge another promotion's existence, you should at least look at what he's done there, acknowledge it in some way, and say, you know what? Let's bring that to WWF and let him at least, even for a month, for 1 month at least, have him become champion. I mean, is that so much to ask? You take a look at the resume that the guy has, you should let him add to that. So at least you could go on record and say, yeah, we helped contribute. But they didn't. And that it's a shame. I mean, was he pushed? Was he pushed massively when he came in? Absolutely. But it wasn't until I guess some kind of backstage incident or something with Shawn Michaels not wanting to put him over that was it. And it's a shame because when I look back at his run in WWE back in '96, I look at a potential. I look at the potential that was wasted, but could have been capitalized on. And they didn't capitalize on it. And that's a shame. That is a shame. Sorry about that. But that is a shame. But yeah, to lose such an iconic legend in the wrestling business is, at the age that I mean, he could still go. I mean, what was his last appearance in WWE was 2012 to celebrate the 1000th episode of Raw. He could still go. And that was what? He passed away at 63. He was like 57, 56 at the time. He could still go. I don't know. All I could say is all I can say is hopefully he gets the recognition he deserves next year in the Hall of Fame. I hope he's the headliner because I can't think of anybody else besides The Undertaker who can outshine him as headliner. So hopefully he gets the recognition he deserves next year because again, you talk about pound for pound one of the best big men in the business. I can't think of anybody else that's good. That was good. That you could say, that was that good, and you could say was in the ring with a who's who in wrestling. I can't. I really can't. So my condolences go out to Leon White, Vader's family. Thank you, Vader, for the memories you gave us, and now you are wreaking havoc, Lord. Forgive me for that. Up in heaven, along with your colleagues that have gone before you. So Godspeed, Vader. All right. Another thing I want to talk about is related to WWE. Another big surprise out of this week. Big cast, Colin Cassidy, was released from Pro Wrestling Entertainment. Yeah, big cast. Colin Cassidy um, was released from World Wrestling Entertainment. And man, there is so much to talk about with that. His real name is William Morrison or Morrissey. He was near 7'2". And apparently, and apparently, the apparently the reasoning for it, according to a lot of reports, is Big Cass was just hard to work with. According to several reports, he was not only was he hard to work with, but he had a bit of a backstage attitude problem. He, I guess, recently at a live event before Money in the Bank, got in the face of somebody backstage. I don't know who it could have been. Maybe a high-ranking producer. I don't know. But basically, from what I could tell, it goes back to something that a lot of former WWE stars in recent years have said. And a lot of people that have talked about these kind of similar situations have said. And that is one of the reasons Big Cass had an attitude and was hard to work with was because he was angry at the fact that he wasn't being properly booked. He wasn't being booked right. And that might have been it. I don't know. According to, let's see, Wrestling Inc. Not Wrestling Inc. Let's see, let's go back. Yeah, here we go. Wrestling Inc. I should say. According to them, excuse me. According to them, um, okay, this is Justin Barrasso, who sometimes is not the best to believe when it comes to articles, but this is what they said. According to more details that came out, it says, as reported, WWE announced that Big Cass had been released from the company. Apparently, per Dave Meltzer of F4W Online, Vince McMahon held a meeting Tuesday prior to SmackDown Live airing and made the decision to let Cass go. Going to Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated, again, he's had he's had some controversial reports made, whether they're believable or not. According to Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated, a major issue was Big Cass excessively drinking during most of the European tour and having attitudes with others while drunk. Moreover, being intoxicated while in public is something that WWE does not condone, which is why they were sour on Cass. Now, according to what Wrestling Inc. says, and I quote, continuing on, regarding Cass is big. Okay, regarding Cass's backstage demeanor, former WWE wrestler Simon Dean, Mike Burke, Nova in ECW, shared a story on Facebook where he recalled Cass acting in a rude manner. According to Burke, Nova, Cass big dogged, quote unquote, big dogged a former co-worker who was backstage and forced him out of the locker room. A former wrestling co-worker of mine from back in my WWE days was backstage at a show about a year ago, and Big Cass big dogged him and asked him to leave the locker room. That's what Nova said on his Facebook. If their paths cross again on the Indies, I hope I'm there to see my buddy return the favor. Now, according to a source that Wrestling Inc. reached out to, according to a source that Wrestling Inc. Uh, looked out to, or reached out to, I should say, according to what a source, sorry, it's early, according to a source Wrestling Inc. reached out to, it was, excuse me, it was added that Cass could have been getting too comfortable with his character and getting in conflicts with people backstage. And these are situations that usually get wrestlers in hot water. The source added that Cass could have been trying to make up for offending others by playing politics. It was probably a case of keeping it real going wrong. So basically, it's it was another situation that someone who got an opportunity and heard or was given, well, basically it sounds like it's another situation where someone heard, hey, you're going to get a big push when you come back, and we got big plans for you to probably be champion in the long run. It was probably an issue where Cass let that go to his head. He was like, oh, good, now I can get away with anything I want or do whatever I want. Because if someone like, let's say, a Vince McMahon or Kevin Dunn or Michael Hayes says, hey, we got this plan for you, you're going to get this, and this is what it's going to result to in the long run. Big Cass probably figured, hey, then that means I can do whatever I want now. I'm going to have some pull around here. I could do this. I could say that. That wasn't the case because, from what I can understand, you probably don't get any of those kind of privileges, if any at all, until you get to that moment, until you achieve that moment that they got planned for you. You don't go around and act like, oh, I'm special. I can do this, whatever. No, you don't do that right off the bat. At the moment you hear about it, you wait. You wait for your opportunity. If you know what I'm saying, you wait for that opportunity to present itself. It's like with me. If I decided, hey, I'm gonna boss people around because I want to be a CSM, or oh, I'm gonna boss people around, tell them what to do, da, 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 because I'm gonna become a CSM. Yeah, I got word. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get that opportunity now. No, I don't do that. I wait. I wait till I'm properly trained and to do it the right way, so I don't offend people and I don't get myself in hot water. And that's basically what happened with Cass. He basically got himself in a situation to where he let it go to his head. Now, what I fear is it could affect Carmella in the long run. Now, they're not an item anymore, but you never know what could happen. It could trickle down a little bit to her, and maybe she might get questioned if she knew anything about this attitude problem that Cass had. The question is, do I see Big Cass being gone for long? No, I don't. I think if anything, he's got 90 days. He's got a 90-day compete clause, so he can't directly go and compete elsewhere. On tele, from a major standpoint, it's like he can't go to Impact, he can't go to Ring of Honor and compete on television or on a pay-per-view. He has to basically wait 90 days. Now, I look at it this way. Within those 90 days, a lot can change. Remember, Daniel Bryan was let go because of what he did that was against WWE rules back in 2010. 90 days later, he was 90 days or less than that later, he was brought back. And look where he is now. Or look where he was and is now. Or look where he went and is going to hopefully now. The same could be said for Big Cass. I think what's going to happen is two things. Big Cass might return in time for the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant, or he might return in about 89, 88 days. Why do I say that? Because WWE needs some big... They may not... Because WWE may come out and say, hey, we don't really need Cass around because we got this guy, we got that guy. No, they're going to want him around. And I think what's going to happen is maybe something's going to get worked out between two sides. Cass will be brought back. But I think what they're going to do if they bring him back after 90 days and re-sign him is they're going to put him on a probationary period. Sorry, hold on. Like I said, they're going to put him on a probationary. Sorry about that. But like I said, what I think they're going to do is put him on a probationary period if they decide to bring him back after, 90 days or so. And what that could mean is after he passes maybe 30 days of probation or whatever, that he'll be in the clear. So, do I think he's going to be back? Yeah. Do I think it's going to be? Sorry again. But do I think when he's brought back, do I think he's going to get an automatic push or anything? No. Again, I think if they bring him back after this 90 days thing, he's going to be put on probation. They're going to keep an eye on him carefully. And then if he passes that 90 days, then he should be all right. So that's what I think they're going to do. Honestly, I think he's going to be back by at least Royal Rumble at the latest, and the earliest could be after this 90 days. But if he comes back the earliest after these 90 days, it mostly will be on a probationary period. Because you can't tell me they don't want to have another big man around, especially Vince McMahon. They do. And I think this is going to just give him time to realize what he did wrong, hopefully. Hopefully he doesn't do anything wrong or bad or rude or whatever during the 90 days, because if he does anything in those 90 days that he's no longer with the company, yeah, that pretty much will throw any opportunity he has of going back to the company out the window. But yeah, I honestly see him being back in the Rumble. I just don't see him. Huh. It's one thing about doing live streams of videos when you're living with the family. Anyway, like I said, hopefully he doesn't do anything unruly or anything during that time, because then that pretty much means any chance he would have a getting back sooner than later is out the window. Excuse me. Anyway, but yeah, it's kind of a shame that he's gone. He's been released, but I think he's going to be back. Like I said, I think he's going to get another shot. And if he's back after 90 days, they'll probably put him on probation, keep an eye on him. And if he passes the probation, he's good to go. But the latest I see him coming back, even with a probation after included to that as well, is the Royal Rumble. So that's what I see going on with Cass and with Big Cass and his future in wrestling, if not the future with WWE in the future. All right. One other thing I want to talk about. As you know, I work for Walmart. As you know, I work for Walmart, work for the Walmart Corporation, for the store in Patterson, California. And I've come on here and I've talked about a few things, that not just me, but a lot of my fellow associates feel, even managers feel. And here's the thing. When we're given a job to do, we got to do it. And sometimes the customers may not like us doing it. But when we're told to go watch one of the doors, whether it's grocery entrance, pharmacy side entrance, general merchandise entrance, garden entrance. When we're asked to watch one of those areas, we do it because we want to make sure nobody's stealing. Second of all, we do it to make sure nobody's stealing by having them show us the receipt. And the reason we do that is so that we could check and make sure, especially if they got a lot of items, 2 cards, 1 card worth, whatever, 3 cards. So we could check not every item, but we want to make sure that what they got listed is on there. Here's the thing. Some people have an attitude with us about that. And yes, before anybody brings it up, I have heard that it's not in the wrong or it's not against the law for them to refuse to show the receipts. And that we at Walmart, Target, Rentco, wherever, don't have the right to have to check the receipt. I know about that, but it's company policy. And whether you agree with that company policy or you don't, the people that work for the company have to follow that. And sometimes all you have to do is just show us this, and we're like, okay, no problem, and you're all right. Especially if we've seen you in the store a lot of times and know that you can be trusted. But all we have to do, literally, is just check your receipt, and depending on what store you go into, all we have to do is mark it. That's all we have to do. We have to double check, make sure everything is there. If there's an item there that you have in your cart that's not there, we'll let you know, and either you have to go back and pay for it, or you just leave it with us because you figure, you know what, I'll just get it next time. Some people don't, and I'm surprised that some people will be willing to do that. Some people will be like, you know what, thank you for telling me, I'll go take care of it now, or they'll be like, okay, thank you for telling me, I'll just leave it here and I'll come back for it later. Thankfully, we have people that are like that. We have customers that are like that. However, there is one thing that really gets to me. And that is the fact that customers sometimes won't show you. And again, it goes back to, I understand, what has been said, that's the customer is not in the wrong and that we're not in the right of checking the receipts and not wanting to show the receipts. I get that. But sometimes people just, when we greet them and say, hello, how you doing? Or thank you for shopping. A lot of us have gotten used to the fact that those will show us the receipt because they know, hey, we can't get out of here unless we do. Because there are some of us, doesn't matter if it's Walmart, Target, Rentco, wherever, that will want to check the receipt. And some of us have been doing it for such a long time that we're used to checking. And if we don't see a receipt, we have to call to the customer and say, sir, can I see your receipt? Or ma'am, can I see your receipt? Because we've been trained to do so. We're adjusted to do so. We've worked so long at that position that we are accustomed to do that. That's what we're used to doing. But there are people that will not do that. Sometimes they'll just walk out. And yeah, you could see them paying for the stuff at the register, but still it would be common courtesy for them to do that, or at least know, okay, I'm going to walk past this door greeter that always checks my receipt or asks to check my receipt. I better have it ready. But sometimes people don't do that. They're just like, hello, goodbye, gone. That's it. It's like, okay, fine. And I'm not going to bother with you. I'm not going to bother. But here's another reason. Yesterday morning, we had a couple come in. A couple come into our store. Not once, not twice, but maybe several times. Because they wanted to steal items. How do we know? Because one of the times they left the store, they dropped, it looks like a 12-ounce plastic can of a Monster drink. Not the energy drink, but the hydrogen drink. Kind of like tropical drink, whatever, that they have out now. He dropped it, picked it up, and then they left. Then they came back in and tried to do it again. And I don't know if they did or not. And it's the same people that we saw the day before. Heck, one of the things that what's known as the AP people have, or we have when we have to step in for them, have is it's a diagram. It's kind of like a little notepad where we write down exactly what sent the door alarm off, the check, the alarm off a little bit, the thing near the door that goes do 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 do. What turned it off. We have to note it, and sometimes people won't even bother to stop up when it goes off. They just keep going. Here's the thing: if this is the same couple as it was the day before, they basically just walked off the other day, set the alarm, and even when one of the APs, he tried to tell him, "Hey, can you please stop? This or that." They just walked off and didn't look back. I think they even said they had a backpack or something, and it set the alarm off. They didn't look back. And look, I get people want to go in, get in the store, get what they need, and leave. I get that. Sometimes you're in a hurry, but you could take just a bit of a second or a few seconds to be like, okay, here's the receipt, check it. Or, oh, did I sit? Or come back and say, oh, did I set the alarm off? Or did I set off? There are times that I've had to talk to people. I've had to call the people. Or they'll walk by the device, the alarm device, and it goes off. It goes to do 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 do. That I have to bring them back. I have to check what it is, and then I have to go over to site to store, go to this little thing on the table, and deactivate the magnet so they can walk out without any problem. And that's the one thing I think they should do with all the registers. They should give us that option to have something similar to that, so that if somebody's buying, let's say, an SD card or a game controller or whatever, we could just deactivate it right there. It just, it would make it easier for the customer. They wouldn't have to worry. All they'd have to do is show the receipt. But what I'm getting at is talking about those two. That's exactly the reason. We need to know what you're doing. We need to know what you bought, because there have been times where people will buy something over at self-checkout and not want to show the receipt because they don't want to show, they don't want to show that they didn't buy for certain items and they want to get out of there as quickly as they can. That doesn't work. That's not going to work much longer, because sooner or later, a lot of AP people, a lot of people that are in charge of APs and all that at the stores, companies, are going to catch on. They're going to be like, oh, no, you don't. We know what you're doing. So you get back and you buy that stuff or you put it back. We know it. It's coming. People know it's coming. So all we ask out of common courtesy and respect is just for customers, no matter where someone like me works, whether it's Walmart, Target, Winco, whatever, just to show us the receipt, let us check it, doesn't take too long, and then mark it off and thus allow us to mark off the receipt so that you will be free to go. You'll be allowed to go. The thing is, folks, we don't want to cause any dissatisfactory or any customer dissatisfactory. We want customers to have a pleasant experience so that when they come back, at least when we see them come back and they see us, we know we can trust them. I mean, here's the thing, folks. We've had several indications where people will want to talk to management because they don't want to have the receipts checked. And all because of the fact that, like I mentioned earlier, they know that they're in the right if they don't want to show the receipt. And yeah, there are some people in AP that are like, they don't get that. They don't understand that. Sometimes that's why when somebody doesn't want to show the receipt, or anything, they just walk by and say, I'm not going to bother them. I'm not going to bother them because I don't know what they could have on them. And, if they don't want to show the receipt, they got the right. Even though they should be at least courtesy enough to say, here, check it out. There you go. I get it. But like I said, there are people I work with that have been trained at this job, been trained at this position, that are used to this and know nothing more know nothing more than to basically check the receipt, because they don't want people to steal or don't want people to accidentally take something or take something or whatever. You get the idea. You get the idea. I've worked with people that have worked with Walmart a lot longer than I have, combined, both stores that I've worked with combined, that have been in the same position for that long and are used to making sure that receipts are checked and making sure the customer has everything in order that they've bought. They don't want to have to deal with the fact that someone's going to walk out with something by accident and unintentionally steal it without buying it. They're not going to want something like that to happen, or they're not going to, or basically they don't want you to get in trouble. I mean, you get the idea. I know it's complicated. I know it could be complicated, frustrating, and all that. But but basically, the overall thing is we check receipts. We're subbing in for the APs or the APs themselves. They check receipts. The greeters themselves, they check receipts because they want to make sure no one's doing any wrong, and they want to make sure you have everything you bought in order, so that if something wasn't on the receipt that you intended to buy is in the cart, we could either help you go and buy it. We can either help you go back to where you were and get it bought real quickly, or if you decide just to leave it and come back for it later, so be it. So be it. But the truth is, we're not trying to cause trouble. Nobody is. We're just trying to give a pleasant customer experience. And again, what people have to understand, they may not like this concept, and is when people ask them for the receipts and are intentionally wanting to add and basically want to make sure they have everything in order, is because those people have worked at that position for so long that that's all they know. That's all they know, and that's all they're used to. The fact that they're used to seeing people show them the receipts. That's all they know. That's all they're used to seeing when it comes to this job. So all I ask on behalf of any associates or workers at any retail companies or whatever across the board, all I ask on their behalf is for customers to be respectful and to at least have the receipts ready when they get ready to exit the store. And that was my dog. But basically to have the receipts and stuff ready when they exit the store, so that we can make sure they have everything in order and they don't forget not to buy anything or anything, or forget they didn't purchase something, so they can go back and purchase it down the line. So really, that's all I have to say on that, folks. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this whole topics on my mind deal. Just to answer one question somebody asked me about my favorite Mario character. Got a ton, but I think I'd have to go with Daisy, Peach, and Rosalina. I really do. I don't know what it is. Maybe the eye candy. I don't know, but I'd have to go with those three, and I think maybe right behind them is Mario. So Mario, Peach, Rosalind, and Daisy. So, but that's really all I'm going to say, folks, on this edition of Topics on My Mind. This first day of summer edition of Topics on My Mind. Let me know what you all think down below. Thank you all for watching live this early on this Thursday morning. I really appreciate it. And that's all I'm going to say, folks. So let me know down below what you think. Thank you all for watching live. Thank you all for watching post live. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care.